Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So huge news, Daniel Bruhl was just confirmed as one of the new villains in Captain America 3. So this is going to be a video about the top 5 people I think he could be playing and how that might fit into the other Phase 3 movies. Marvel has not confirmed who he's playing, but Variety is reporting that he's going to be a secondary villain in Captain America, but the main villain of Doctor Strange. I think right away there's like a clear pick, but I'm going to go through my top 5 picks and then do a breakdown of each character. The big one everyone's talking about, obviously, is Red Skull. He could be playing a new version of Red Skull. It's widely believed that Hugo Weaving isn't going to return to the Red Skull role. Like, he's not going to return to the Marvel Universe. That was a one-off deal for him. But the character Red Skull could totally come back. Daniel Bruhl, totally amazing actor. Totally think he can pull it off. If you don't believe me, just watch Rush. He is amazing as Niki Lauda. He's just an amazing actor in general. So here we go, top 5 picks. Number 5, Dr. Faustus. This is my least likely pick, but Dr. Faustus was associated with Hydra. You can think of him as like an evil Sigmund Freud, which certainly would link him to the Mind Gem and what Hydra has been doing in the events leading up to Age of Ultron. He also was a big part of the Death of Captain America comic book storyline, and that's rumored to be part of the inspiration for Captain America 3. I mean, it's Civil War, but the Death of Captain America came right after that. Don't know how they're going to address that in the movie universe. I don't expect Chris Evans to die, but it's totally possible we could see some elements of that in the movie. Since Faustus is a lesser character, I think it's possible that they could use that character, but he might just be in the TV universe. Based on the timeline of those, I don't expect a whole lot of huge Hydra characters in the Netflix series. They're really pounding that on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. Number 4, Nicholas Giust. Giust also has some loose ties to the Doctor Strange universe. He fits a little bit better into Captain America stories because he gets tied up with Winter Soldier. In the comics, he ended up getting stuck in a robot exoskeleton just to keep himself alive. That feels like more of a MODOK type storyline. So that's also why he's towards the bottom of my list. But he is a really big character that they have not used in the movie universe yet. There was an arc during Marvel's Heroic Age during those comics where he tried to remake the world in Hydra's image using a lot of mystical artifacts along with blood from Thor and a lot of the other more mythical characters from the Marvel universe. That feels like more of a reality gem thing, and they kind of did that during Guardians of the Galaxy, so again, much less likely than some of my other picks. Number 3, Baron Zemo. Here we're starting to get to some of the more likely characters. Baron Zemo, one of the biggest characters in the Marvel Universe underneath Red Skull, as well as Baron von Strucker. He's mostly known for Masters of Evil. I would totally love it if they did that in the movies. Thus far, we've only seen Hydra characters. We haven't seen an evil version of the Avengers yet. It would be pretty badass to see a supervillain team up in a Captain America movie, and he's a character that's big enough to be one of the current heads of Hydra. They actually mentioned the heads of Hydra on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. Right now, the only ones that we know are confirmed heads are Baron von Strucker, as well as Dr. Whitehall. Zemo isn't a character that the movies have introduced yet, so that means that he's still alive somewhere, floating around. The comics have used him so much that at some point he's going to have to be in one of the movies, at least in some way. Just the other thing that makes him a slightly less likely, than my top 2 picks are the fact that there are better candidates that are both Hydra characters and big Doctor Strange villains. Zemo has always been more of a Captain America villain than a Doctor Strange villain. So he'd be a likely candidate for the main villain of Captain America 3, and Daniel Bruhl, the character that I'm talking about, is supposed to be the minor villain of Captain America 3 and the main villain of Doctor Strange, which is kind of funny, which means we have to set our sights a little bit lower. Number 2, Red Skull. Just to explain why Red Skull is my number 2 pick and not my number 1 pick is because I don't feel like this is a slam dunk. I do think that we'll see Red Skull again. He'll totally appear in a future Captain America movie at some point. But I think because Hugo Weaving's contract is kind of up in the air and they're not sure if he's ever going to come back to play him, they're just kind of leaving him on the side. I've seen a lot of you ask questions about how he's still alive, what happened to him at the end of the first Captain America movie. Just remember this. The Tesseract is the space gem. It teleports matter to, who knows where, so he's floating in space for all we know. And the thing that a lot of big creators talk about are that supervillains, like the epic villains, never truly die. Like, they'll never truly go away. There's no final death. The other strike against him is that he's almost too big of a character to be the lesser villain of a Captain America movie. I feel like any movie he stepped into, he would automatically become the big villain of. And my number 1 pick, the pretty obvious choice, Baron Mordo. The reason I think Baron Mordo is the best pick is because He's not quite as powerful or as famous or infamous as, say, Red Skull or some of the other big, huge Marvel villains. But he is one of the biggest Doctor Strange villains, if not the main Doctor Strange villain. So if Variety is right, and Daniel Bruhl is playing a character that'll be a lesser villain in Captain America, but the main villain in Doctor Strange, I feel like it's a pretty clear pick. Baron Mordo, all the way. It'd be totally awesome to see Dormammu as the main villain of a Doctor Strange movie, but since he's a godly, demonic construct, I feel like it's just a little too outlandish. For a first movie outing, the villain needs to be a physical person that you could punch with your fist if you needed to. Not that Doctor Strange is going to be that kind of movie. But just think about it this way. Daniel Bruhl, can't wait to see him as a villain in Captain America. But imagine he gets his hands on the Soul Gem at the end of that movie, gains the power he needs to become the big bad in Doctor Strange, and then that movie becomes the battle for the Soul Gem. That's just a theory, but I feel like it's the most plausible one of all these picks, regardless of whether or not the Soul Gem is involved. And just the idea of Daniel Bruhl against Benedict Cumberbatch, it just sounds so amazing. Let me know though, which of these guys do you think he's playing, or do you think he's playing someone else? Just remember, he can be a minor villain in Captain America, but he has to be the main villain in Doctor Strange. If you've ever heard the term big bad, it's actually something from Joss Whedon's Buffy. That's when the term was coined. It's where a normal villain is typically outmatched by the heroes, in this case Captain America, the Avengers, Doctor Strange. Somehow they obtain knowledge, an item, some sort of power, making them an insurmountable threat for the heroes. That's why they're called the big bad, bad to big bad. Like normally the Red Skull is a huge threat, but imagine him with the power of the Tesseract. Of all the things in the Marvel Universe that can make a normal villain almost invincible, I think the Infinity Gems are the best pick. Regardless of what goes on in Captain America 3, I think Doctor Strange will feature the Soul Gem. It just seems like a natural fit for that kind of story. The soul is a much more mystical idea than what the movies have dealt with so far. Doctor Strange is opening that up. Still a whole lot more really big Phase 3 stuff to talk about, so my next video will probably be an Age of Ultron video about Ultron stories. Feel free to make any requests in the comments though if there are any specific Phase 3 Marvel movie videos you want to talk about. Right now the next ones on my list after Age of Ultron are Black Panther and Captain Marvel. I've already done videos for some of the other ones like Thor 3, Inhumans, Doctor Strange, so I'll add links for those in the description if you want to learn more about those movies. While you wait for more Marvel bonus videos, you can click here to learn more about Thor 3 Ragnarok, and you can click here to learn more about the other Phase 3 movies. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's all high five, and I will see you guys tomorrow.